So let's take the blessing from our ISKCON Seshadripuram deities. Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki jai. गौर निताय की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय. लेट्स डू द प्रेयर. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिनी. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are taking on chapter number 7, first shlok, and the whole shlok is about having the Krishna in the center. So we'll see the shloka and translation. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjan Mata Ashraya Asanchayam Samgram Mam Yatha Gyayasi Tat Shrunu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Partha, Arjun, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." So this is Bhagavad Gita 7.1. So now we say Bhagavan, Bhagavan Vacha. So Bhagavan said. So what is Bhagavan? So if you see Sanskrit word Bhagavan, so it is can be split into two, Bhaga and Van. Bhaga means opulence, and Van means one who possesses all the opulences. So Bhagwan means one who possesses all the opulences. So we know that there are 6 kind of opulences. So what are those 6 kind of opulences? Can you recollect?
Wealth, fame,
Yes.
uh,
Wealth, fame,
beauty,
Beauty, knowledge,
knowledge, and renunciation.
renunciation, and strength.
strength
Strength.
as well. So wealth, reputation, strength, knowledge, renunciation, and beauty. So if a person is very rich, he is considered to be opulent. He attracts the attention of many other person. So similarly, if a person is very influential or very strong, so maybe it is politician or some some actor, actress. So he is also very attractive. So, and if a man is very famous for his activities, then also he attracts attention. Or if a man or woman is very beautiful, he or she attracts attention. Also, if a man is very learned, having a very high knowledge, he also attracts attention. So if you see, we all actually possess these opulences, but in a very small quantity. So you can consider like many of us may be rich. We may be little rich, little wise, maybe little strong, but the person who possesses these opulences greater than everybody else, that is God, right? So we see a lot of Babajis in modern world. They call themselves as God, and they give Siksha and Diksha, and the disciple consider them as God. But before making them anybody your Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru, we have to always check whether what is his opulence. That is the barometer. Whether he is above every richest or strength, knowledge, in renunciation and in beauty, if he is the highest, then we can consider him as God. So there is a Sanskrit word, a Sanskrit word called as Ashamorthava. So Ashama Orthava. So Shama means equal, and Asama means without being equal, and Urdhava means above. So no one is equal or greater than God. So that is the definition of God. So God is great means that nobody is equal to him and nobody is above him in any kind of opulence. Then we can consider him as Bhagavan. So Vyasadeva writes in Bhagavad Gita to describe Krishna. Right? So Bhagavad Gita in this Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? It is one of the chapter of Mahabharata. And what is Mahabharata? Mahabharata means history of Greater India. So India is the name, we know it is given by Westerners, right? But actual name is, what is the actual name?
Bharatvarsha.
Actual name is Bharatvarsha. So Bharatvarsha means not only India, but the whole planet. 5,000 years ago, it was known as Bharatvarsha. And now the name Bharatvarsha indicates only India. So the background is this, the Bhagavad Gita is there. So Bhagavad Gita is actually a worldwide fight between the battle, right? In the battle of Kurukshetra. That Kurukshetra place, it is still exists. So 5,000 years ago, there was a battle, and this battle was between the cousin brothers, the Kurus and Pandavas. So that time Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So therefore, it is said Bhagavan Vacha. You say in complete Bhagavad Gita, there is nowhere you can see Krishna Vacha. Right? In Krishna consciousness, we consider that Bhagavan as Krishna. So Krishna is teaching Arjuna Bhakti Yoga. Now, yoga is the means by which you can contact Supreme. So yoga doesn't mean any kind of gymnastics, which people nowadays, they earn money by doing some kind of gymnastics and they labeled it as yoga. So yoga means actually linking the contact between Bhagavan and, so Bhagavan is what? The supreme absolute truth. That is why this, from chapter 7 onwards, it is labeled as supreme absolute truth. So what is this supreme absolute truth? It can be realized in 3 phases. Can anybody recollect what are these 3 phases? How this supreme truth is realized in 3 phases?
Brahman,
There are 3.
Paramatma, Bhagavan.
Yes. So we can always realize the supreme truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. So there are 3 ways: impersonal, localized, and personal. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the supreme truth is realized by different person according to different angle of vision. So, for example, you see, when you see a mountain from very far place, what you see? You see actually, you hardly can see that mountain. What you see is very hazy picture of the mountain. You can see clouds. And what happened? The same mountain, when you go a little nearer, what you see? You see something little green. And when you actually reach the mountain, what you find? You find so many varieties. Varieties of what? Varieties of trees. You can see so many houses, maybe there. There may be some living entities everywhere. So the object is one, right? But according to the vision of the person from different distance, the same object is realized in different phases, right? So you see that. So actually, why it happens? Why it is? Why we and everybody see things in different ways? Any idea why it can be? Why a single person can see the same thing or realize the same thing in different ways?
It's
Is
a
it
different
because of
perception,
gunas?
right, Prabhuji? It's because of gunas also,
Yeah, you
because
can
of
say
our
guna or maya or whatever, right? So the whole thing is that our senses are not perfect. So the object is one, but according to different understanding, somebody is realizing the absolute truth as impersonal Brahman. Somebody is realizing absolute truth as localized Paramatma. And somebody realizing same thing as Supreme Personality of Godhead. But ultimately, the Supreme Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So if you see, the common translation comes down to a learned transcendentalist who knows the absolute truth, called this non-dual knowledge. We already discussed this non-dual, right? This whole world is having duality, right? But this supreme truth, called this as non-dual knowledge by different names. Only the names are different. One is Brahman, Brahman. So how some people can realize Brahman? He can realize this Brahman through Jnana Yoga. And similarly, Paramatma. Paramatma is also called as Super Soul. So the localized aspect of Supreme, which actually is dwelling within the heart of every living entity or even in every atom. And it is residing as a observer and guide. So we remember the example of these two parrots sitting together, right? One is eating some fruit and the other one is observing. So Paramatma is observing. He is sitting in every heart. He is sitting in every atom, and he is like a person who maintains the ledger. The balance sheet, if you are from the accounts background, you know what is ledger. He is maintaining all the accounts, what this person is doing, his karma. And then the third one is the Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the complete, fully featured, the personal aspect of absolute truth, processing all the opulences. And that can be attained or realized through bhakti. So that means it is confirmed that these three are not different entities, but three level of realization. Realization of absolute truth. And what we are actually doing is we are doing the third one, which is bhakti. And obviously we know that how difficult is, doing that Paramatma, realizing the Paramatma is through Ashtanga Yoga. How difficult is to realize Paramatma through Ashtanga Yoga, and how difficult it is to realize a Brahman through Jnana Yoga. You have to become a scholar. And we discussed this earlier. This Vedas and Puranas are so difficult, and Srila Prabhupada has made it so simple for us so that we are actually understanding this knowledge. So to understand, to actually travel in bhakti, we need to have little bit of jnana and hatha yoga. Because if you don't have knowledge, how you will know Bhagavan? And if you don't do yoga or meditation, how you can actually connect yourself? How you can link yourself? The how soul will link to super soul. So for that also yoga is very much required. So combination of this together, then only you can achieve the bhakti. And it is already, we know that bhakti is the superior topmost in realizing Bhagavan. So therefore, Vyasadeva, the compiler of Mahabharata, says Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So in this Krishna consciousness movement, we understand that Bhagavan is Krishna. So he has many millions of names, but Krishna is the chief name. So Krishna means the all attractive. That is the meaning of why we call him Krishna, because that means all attractive. So God must be all attractive. Therefore, you see in the picture of Krishna, he is loving calves and cows. He's loving, sometimes he's loving the tree, he's loving the gopis, gopas. Huh? So, cowherd, boys. So, for him, for God, everyone is lovable. So, he never distinguished between, devtas or demons or any kind of jivas. For him, all are lovable objects because they are the son of God. So, as parents, they love their child. They never distinguish. Ki my this he is son or he is girl, he is black or he is white. For parent, it is all same. So Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita that there are different species of life and different forms of life. He says that their mother is material nature and I am the seed giving father. So it is confirmed that the father, seed giving father is Krishna, and the mother is our material nature. So as you know that there is Yog Maya and Mahamaya. So Yog Maya is Radha, and uh, so spiritual energy cannot be actually realized in the material world. So Yog Maya transformed to Maya, and so that is how the existence of Durga. So what is Durga? So basically, according to you, is she demigod or is she God? What?
Demigod.
So
Demigod. Yogamaya.
so actually speaking, so uh, you see this Maya, Yog Maya is not even demigod, not God also. Yog Maya or the material nature is actually the power of which is exists between the demigod and somewhere between the god. So it is the power of the Shakti of Lord actually, Lord Himself. है ना? So, but you cannot call Durga as God. You cannot call Durga as demigod also, like Ganesha or Shiva. Shiva is again considered as God. But the supreme is Krishna, and so material nature actually is the power, is the Shakti of Lord Himself. So much superior than demigod. So God is attractive to everybody and God is equal to everyone. There is no distinction of God. He and God never have any distinction between this animal, man, or tree. So every living entity is part and parcel of God. So that is our understanding of God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So there are different process of yogas for linking God, out of which three are principal: this Gyan Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, as we know, it is the topmost. So if you go to Bhagavad Gita, shlok now, chapter number 6, somewhere 40, 47 slok, there it is saying that of all yogis, the yogi who always think of Krishna with love and faith is the first class yogi. And the seventh chapter, it actually describes, so Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter describes how to become the first class yogi. Krishna himself explains how it has to be done. So if you want to understand God, it is better to understand from God itself. Right? Instead of speculating about God, it is better to understand God from His words himself, right? So while Vyasadeva is just the compiler of all this Vedic knowledge, and he accepts Krishna as the supreme personality of God. And then later on, all these acharyas, Ramanacharya, then you have Madhavacharya, you have Vishnu Swami, then Lord Chaitanya, they all accepted Krishna. So, as far as our Vedic culture is concerned, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, here it is also said, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Krishna is teaching how to become a first class yogi in Krishna consciousness. So, he is saying, Mai asakta mana partha yogam yunjan mat ashraya. Mai means on to me. And asakta means attachment. Now, this attachment is the key thing, right? So, Krishna consciousness yoga means to increase attachment for Krishna. That's all. Everything has attachment for somebody. Either you take any jiva, he will be attached to his either for family, or he will be attached to his friend, or he will be attached to houses, his house, or some hobbies, or he may attach to some cat, dog. So this is attachment. So this attachment, he does not have to be learned. You see, a child is born, immediately he is attached to mother. Who is teaching that? This attachment, nobody is actually teaching. So attachment is there in everyone's heart. So everyone wants to be attached to somebody else. So everybody want to love somebody else. So this love does not mean oneness. For love, there must be two, right? The lover and the beloved. The Krishna consciousness yoga system is the means to increase your attachment for Krishna. So that is the whole thing. Why is this Krishna consciousness yoga system? It is to increase your attachment for Krishna. right? Whatever we do Japamala, we do Kirtan. So therefore it is said here, Mai asakta mana partha. Gradually increase one's attachment for me. So Krishna says one should practice this yoga system by taking shelter of him. You can take shelter directly of Krishna, or you can take shelter of a person who has taken shelter of Krishna. So basically your Diksha Guru, right? Or Shiksha Guru, right? So they already are elevated. They are already taken shelter of Krishna. Actually, Guru is also referred as the representative of God. So this is the meaning of Mat Ashraya. So that is the system of parampara, this discipline succession, what we say. So if you increase your attachment for Krishna, or if you increase your attachment for a person who is a devotee of Krishna, so it is the same, right? So, for example, you can understand like this: ki if somebody uh, get a direct electricity or the current, so he experienced something, right? And uh, the next person, if he touch that electricity wire, or if he touch that first person who is already touching that, he will get the same shock, right? So it is just similar to that. So if you carry the words of Krishna as they are carried by others in the disciplic succession, then you are in touch with Krishna. So this line that is called as Yogam Yunjan Mat Ashraya, always being linked with Krishna. So Krishna says in this verse, please try to hear from me. Krishna is speaking personally, right? You see this shloka, he is speaking personally. So if we accept Bhagwan, or if we accept Bhagavad Gita as it is, as instructed by Krishna himself, then we can understand God without any doubt. So in our present position with material senses, with our four defects, it is not possible to understand what God is. So we have four defects in this material condition, right? So what are these four defects? If Prabhujis or Matajis can recollect, what are these four defects of any jiva?
Adi Daivik,
Prab-
Adi Bhakti.
Prabhuji, we have cheating
Those are
propensity. We
Kalesh.
have
We make
cheating.
mistakes, cheating for cheating. We have nature of cheating others. We are short-sighted. We don't see things as it is, and one
Imperfect senses, and we are prone to illusion.
improper sense. We have
Yeah, so because of the
improper.
improper senses, we commit mistakes.
Mm.
So, four defects are: number one, we commit mistakes. Number two, illusions. We have illusions. The example we just discussed, the mountain we are seeing from far and from near. So that is also an illusion, right? Then we tend to cheat. This is the third defect we have. And the fourth defect is, of course, our imperfect senses. So we have four defects in this material condition. So every day we see sun with our eyes, but because of our senses are so imperfect, we see sun as a disk. Although it is 1,000 times bigger than the earth. In this way, we analyze our senses. So we found that it is imperfect. The speculation based on imperfect senses are not perfect. So this reminds me of a story of this rat and Raghu. So what happened? Raghu was a person, and one day he saw that in his house one rat is coming, and he wanted to get rid of this rat. So what he did, he thought, he made an idea ki if I want to get rid of this rat, let me get a cat. So next day he got a cat. So now to get rid of this rat, he got a cat, and he has to feed the cat, right? Otherwise, the cat will die. So he started bringing milk. So then one day he thought, ki, let me get a cow. So that way I can fulfill the need of this cat. So next day he purchased one cow. So when cow was there, then he realized he has to maintain that cow, right? He has to clean him, he has to feed him or her. So then he thought what to do. Then he thought, let me get married. So if I get married, then uh, my wife can maintain that cow. So then he got married, and then followed by that, he got childrens. And then the children used to mess around so much that later he found that in his house there were so many rats. So that is our imperfect senses. We realize something which is not perfect, and these speculators like us, and also so-called as scientists and philosophers and so on, put forward theories like perhaps, or it may be. It's just like a tossing a coin, right? So when you toss a coin, what happens? Sometimes you will be right. So based on that, all these theories and philosophies are built. That means it is not perfect knowledge, but you receive knowledge from Supreme Perfect God, that is perfect knowledge. So our process is like that. In the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says he spoke this philosophy of Bhagavad Gita first to Sun God. I think last class to or last to last class we covered this. Bhagavad Gita was first spoken to Sun God, who spoke it to son Manu, and who spoke it to his son again Ishwaku. In this way, by disciplic succession, Bhagavad Gita has come down to this earth. If we accept this disciplic succession instead of unnecessarily interpreting Krishna's word, then we can understand Bhagavad Gita. That is the process. So our Krishna consciousness movement is for understanding the Supreme Person, that is Krishna. So without any interpretation. So that is Krishna consciousness yoga. That can be achieved, as Krishna says, by always keeping him in the center. So the whole concept of this chapter 7 or this first shloka, the whole essence is putting Krishna in the center. So if you practice this yoga, keeping Krishna in the center and always thinking of in the form of Krishna, then the Krishna will be actually revealed. And this is the yoga system of Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna. Anybody have any doubts or want to share
Prabhuji,
anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, yesterday only we covered 4.1 verse.
Yes.
So after the class, I was just reading the purport and other purports also. I came across that Vivaswan spoke to Manu, that is his son.
Yes.
But Swayambhu Manu is the son of Brahma, no Prabhuji.
So,
So I got a doubt,
again,
Prabhuji.
Manu is a very big topic. We don't have one Manu. So,
Oh,
if you read the scriptures,
huh.
so there are different Manus. So,
Okay, okay.
that may be the
Oh,
reference.
so Vaivaswata Manu is this Manu.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for
Dhanavad
wonderful
Pranam,
class.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna
for
Prabhuji,
thank
Dandavat
you for
Pranam.
joining.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Thank you,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji, the
Krishna.
class
Dandavat
was
pranam.
very, very, very good, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. All mercy of Krishna and
Thank you,
Gauranga.
Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the
Thank you
very
very much.
interesting.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
Hare Krishna
much.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
So
Thank you
we'll
for
join tomorrow again.
wonderful class.
So please do join for the chanting, 15 minutes chanting. We are starting in
Krishna.
6:30. So please participate. We'll do 15 minutes of chanting followed by the class. Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.